I went 31-8 on YouTube last week, including 13-3 on the game picks. In today's video, I'm giving you a pick for every single game. I'm also going to dabble in the player prop talk, so stick around. Kind of going to be sprinkled throughout. Going to show you all the live odds. Going to show you my betting models. And if you didn't know, I simulate every single game 10,000 times. What you see in this video are the results for each game. Let's get to it. Couple facts. These are good to know. In week 1, 12 of the 16 games hit the under. Favorites went 6-5. I'm negating a couple lines where we had 1-point spreads. Basically a pick 'em. Over the last several years, the team that won the game covered the spread in over 80% of the games. Keep that in mind because there's some juicy lines this week, and we probably don't want to be playing all of those money lines. The pivot might be on the spread. Let's take a look. So I'm just going to show you a quick little view of what's going to be happening on the screens. Sometimes you're going to get my face a lot today. Lucky you. But I'm going to be using Novig to show you all the live odds for each game, and then I'll show you a display of what the 10,000 Sims model is telling us. For instance, this first game. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm down here. You can see me, right? I can't hear you. Why did I ask that? Commanders getting 3.5 on the road. 3 in the hook. You'd think I'd like that, right? Well, I don't. There's a few reasons why, and I'm going to talk about it now, of why I like the Packers to cover. I also think the total at 48.5 is going to be volatile. That's the best word for it. Stay here. I'm going to tell you in a second. We can make money here with a parlay, too. Plus 170 on the road for the Commanders is an interesting play. Although it's just time to back the Packers. They might be the best team in the NFC, second to only Philly. But we'll see how real they are after the Super Bowl win against the Chiefs this year. But we're about to see Philly in week 2 against the Chiefs in a Super Bowl rematch. I can't wait to talk about that and give you my winner for that game in this video. So way over there on the right side of your screen, the betting model is telling us the Packers to win. This the Packers money line, second best money line pick of the week. That's an interesting play. Let's talk about that in a minute. The spread of -3.5. Green Bay's laying those points. The model says they're going to cover. Third best spread bet of the week. But then way down here, we got 16 games. The over 48.5 total, the 11th out of 16 games. So 10,000 simulations later, and it's not a very confident pick. I guess we can call that a lean. So how do we take advantage of this? And by the way, we're doing this for all 16 games, and I'm mixing in some player props. I'm not kidding. You're going to love this video. Well, a few things to know. Despite making the NFC Championship last year, the Commanders were not very good against good teams. Matt LaFleur on the other side is the Packers head coach, 23-9 against the spread on primetime. We know the model likes the Packers to win. But we also know that over 80% of the games, the winner covers the spread. The stars are aligning here. Now, in some sports books, you've got boosts, and you can boost the money line down to -120 on FanDuel. Do that if you'd like. For me, without a boost, I love the fact that the Packers -3.5 was the third best spread pick on the model. We know the Packers are going to play methodical, slow offense. They're going to run the ball a ton. They're going to set up the play action. They'll take a few deep shots down the field. Josh Jacobs has scored a touchdown in 10 straight games. Commanders have been run through for the past couple years by running backs. This game's at home on a short week. There's a lot to like here for Josh Jacobs for a touchdown. I think a parlay with the money line makes sense. Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown parlayed with the Packers money line gives you plus odds. You want to keep it simple. -3.5 looks good. Now, last season, 52% of the Thursday games hit the under on the total. Year before that, over 60% of the games hit the under on the total. It seems like Vegas is slightly moving down these totals. This one feels high. Yes, I know both teams look pretty good. Probably the second and third best teams in the NFC. But this is the first NFL game of the season where the Thursday teams are going to be coming off 3 days rest. Their bodies aren't ready. I'm worried about the over, despite the model saying the over 48.5 was the play. Remember, it was only 11th out of 16th. So, quick recap. Packers money line, second best. I'm back in the pack. If you don't like the juice, or you're not going to parlay it with an anytime touchdown for Josh Jacobs, -3.5 is probably the play. I'm not touching the total. Next up, let's talk about the Bills and the Jets. Now, the Bills are coming off a very emotional win on Sunday Night Football. Most of us stayed up and watched it. And if you did, you ended up watching one of the greatest wins in NFL history for week 1, potentially of all time. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm a Bills fan, and maybe this is a little biased, but that was an incredible game. One of the best I've ever seen. What a finish. But I digress. That's a running joke if you've been watching this show. I'm always digressing. That 6.5 point line looks extremely trappy. As a Bills fan, I'm a little concerned. Yes, we know that the teams that win cover in over 80% of the games, but that doesn't mean everything's locked in that they're going to cover if they win. Steelers were -2.5 last week. They won by 2 points. The Bengals were minus 5.5 last week. They won by 1 point. This could be one of those games where the Bills still eke out the victory, but the Jets are able to cover. The minus 6.5 looks trappy. The fact that we're getting plus odds is interesting, and I do like that, especially for spreads. Give me the best odds. They're minus 300 to win. The total's at 46.5. The betting model says take the over 45.5. In fact, it's the number one over on the entire slate. And I absolutely love it. Jets offense was very, very good in week one. Justin Fields, hey, I talked about this in my touchdown picks video on Saturday, which, by the way, 9 of my 13 picks scored a touchdown. 6 of the winners were plus odds, including Justin Fields plus 220. I said he was going to be a playmaker this year. He's playing for his future keep in the NFL. That means I think we're going to see Justin Fields do what he did in year 2, where he ran 1,000 yards and had 8 rushing touchdowns. They had 2 rushing touchdowns in week 1. I think this will be a reoccurring theme all season if he hopes to keep his starting job for the quarterback for the New York Jets. And the Bills offense, we just saw hang 41 on the Ravens. Ravens defense was wretched against the pass last season. Nothing's changed. They gave up 394 yards through the air, 4 passing touchdowns to Josh Allen. We'll talk about that in a second with the Brownies. Could that be a statement game for Baltimore? We'll see. No, I'm not taking the Jets to win this game. I'm backing the Bills, minus 300. I, in fact, like those odds a little bit. It's nice not to have to pay a minus 500 or something for them. But I am concerned about traveling into MetLife. I don't like the spread. I'm not touching it. So back to no big we go. Let's add the Bills money line. We're 2 picks in. If we want to talk about player props for this game, hey, I'm talking about it again. Justin Fields rushing touchdown, anytime touchdown. And again, we can run out Josh Allen for an anytime touchdown. I think they're both fine options. I can't wait to do my touchdown picks video this weekend. Almost 14,000 views, and I absolutely dominated in the video. If you're new, subscribe and like the video. And tell me down below your favorite survivor pick. Yeah, I want to know who your lock of the week is. But if I see a bunch of Ravens selections, I might vomit. They're minus 700. They're going to win. I think. We hope. You hope. I don't care. But I digress. Next up, let's talk Niners and Saints. Niners laying 4.5 points on the road here, minus 204 favorites. Listen, the Saints gave it their all in week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals. They hung around. Niners look good. Lost George Kittle, though. CMC with almost 30 touches. That was a shocker. Now I'm going to be real with you, and I'll also show you. Second to last confidence ranking for the spread. Second to last total ranking. And this would be the 6th least confident pick of the week for money lines. 49ers to cover. Again, 80% of the games, the winners do cover. And under 41.5 for the total. I think there's one bet to make in this game and one bet only. It's the 49ers to win outright. I'm actually not concerned. Not as concerned as the money line model shows. My personal bias says the 49ers are a much better team in so many different categories. I think Christian McCaffrey probably gets into the end zone this week, and we need to see what his rush attempt prop is later this week as well. If it opens around 17.5, 18.5, I'm slamming the over. I would love that bet. He looked totally fine. We got more games on this slate to talk about that are going to be more fun. Let's breeze through this one. All right, Seahawks are getting plus 2.5 on the road, 39.5 point total, plus 146 for the Seahawks. Steelers, minus 154 at home. Just saw the Steelers go out there and win 34-32. I don't know who the heck we saw back there for the Steelers at quarterback, but Aaron Rodgers turning back the clock, reaching deep down inside his gut and bringing out as much spite as he can against his former New York Jets team, pulls out a 34-32 victory. Again, I'm always a little concerned about those emotional wins. I kind of like the Seahawks when they opened at plus 3. I don't like that it's 2.5 now. I actually like the Steelers here, money line, minus 154 outright. I would take it. I just think they're the better team all around. The defense should be better than what they showed against the Jets. I think the Jets offense could surprise a little bit this season. Justin Fields is a playmaker, and if he can throw the ball like he did in week 1, the Jets are going to be a better team. Regardless, they're not in this game, but still, we did see them against these home team Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think they're going to stay hot. Yeah, I do. Steelers, give me the money line at home, minus 154. I like the over, too. Again, you got a team here that just hung 34 points up last week in the Steelers. I think the over is a fine option. Player props-wise, there's nothing I really want to hang my hat on. Maybe Aaron Rodgers for 2+ passing touchdowns, but there's no lock. So let's move on. We've got the Rams on the road this week against the Tennessee Titans, who played some inspired football, hung around with the Broncos for a very long time in that game. Rams are giving 5.5 points on the road here. That is a big number. 41.5 point total, minus 230 favorites on the road. Kyron Williams, anytime touchdown. Basically a lock and load week in and week out. I like the Rams a lot here. I think Tennessee played about as good as they could in week 1, and I think it might be all downhill from here. We'll do this one quickly. Give me the Rams minus 230. Give me Kyron Williams to score a touchdown. Puka Nacua catches, likely a great play. Got to wait for that prop line to open, though. All right, so I'm going to show you this because it matters to me. The Miami money line was the dead last, the least confident play on the entire money line slate. What I mean by that is this. We simulate all games 10,000 times. There are 16 games. Out of the 16 winners chosen, they're dead last in confidence. This game, I just don't want to touch it. I do think Miami at home plays some better football this week. I do think they will win. I also like the fact that we're getting minus 111. It's essentially a pick 'em, about as close to, as you'll see. Some books have this at 1. My favorite play in the slate was under 44.5. That's where the total opened. It's moved down to 43.5 now. If you can still get 44.5, I think it's a fine option. I'm not touching a single player prop in this game. Let's move on. Ooh, Jags Bengals. We got a good one to discuss. Let me bring up my game notes, and while I do that, talk to this handsome guy. No, this isn't pre-recorded. I thought I'd do a fun transition. I think I failed, but I digress. I'm sorry. Do me a favor. If you like the video, like the video. Seriously. Those likes, those are huge. You want to support a content creator giving you freebies? Well, then freely click that like button. And again, I would love to hear your favorite winners down below. Tell me your favorite. Give me your reasoning. Tell me your top 3. Tell me why. Put together a parlay. Show me. People love reading the comments. Trying to find a banger down there. I do it too. It's a good time. NFL's fun to talk about. All right. Jaguars, I think, are a decent team this year. Bengals, I think they're really good, but I'm a little concerned. We saw the way they started last year, and it started just like they did this year. It was ugly. That offensive line is a wretched mess. I don't know why they didn't fix it or couldn't fix it this offseason. You got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You have the very best wide receiver in the league. Makes no sense to me. It was an ugly win. A very ugly win for the Cincinnati Bengals. Jags had a big win over the Panthers. You know, they started off at home, 26-10 win, cupcake matchup. Bengals had a cupcake matchup too, and they really faltered. I think this is a bounce back opportunity. No, they did not lose. It's not a classic bounce back. But what it is, it's an opportunity here to take a much better team, in my opinion. I think they're a step or two ahead of where the Jaguars are. Jamar Chase to score a touchdown this week. I'm locking that in for my touchdown picks video. Be prepared to see his name on that Saturday video here on YouTube. My man basically got shut down by the Browns. Joe Burrow looked terrible. He had no time. Jamar Chase had over 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns last year. You think he's going to start the season off with 2 stinkers? No, not a chance. I'm backing Jamar Chase props like crazy this week. Give me the Bengals to win at home. If the money line's too juicy for you, I think they easily cover the minus 3.5 as well. Again, winners cover in 80%, over 80% of those games. This is a really good one here, in my opinion. All right, next one is gross. Literally gross. Using the MySprearyEdge.com 10,000 simulations model, Dallas moneyline, 4th best pick. I actually do like them a lot to win this week. Spread minus 6. I do not like. But the total down here, 11th? I don't know, man. I think this could be a low-scoring game. Let's lock them in as the winners for the week. I don't think we have any type of difficulty plugging that in. I think the Giants' offense is going to be hapless all year. I don't even know if Russell Wilson finishes this game as a starter. I don't like the Cowboys giving almost a touchdown away, though, so I can't touch it. The under 44.5, I don't care if the model's down there for 11th in confidence. I like that one a lot. No team in the NFL has had more games hit the under than the New York Giants since 2023. 65% of their games have hit the under. The Commanders and Giants scored a total of 27 points in week 1. The under 44.5 is a great play. I have more confidence in the under 44.5 than the model. So there you go, my friends. That's a good one in my opinion. If you don't like the juice here, that 44.5 is a really nice number to grab the under. All right, we got the Chicago Bears. We saw them absolutely melt down, get outscored 21-7 in the 4th quarter against the Minnesota Vikings-led J.J. McCarthy offense. And you got the Detroit Lions, who looked hapless. What happened to Motor City? That offense had no engine. -5.5 at home, -234 to win, 47.5-point total. And I think this is a classic statement game. Yes, Ben Johnson's gone. No, he barely helped the Bears. We really just might have seen the Lions basically getting their preseason week 4 game in against one of the best 2 or 3 teams in the NFC in the Green Bay Packers with the Micah Parsons-led defense. Could have just been a worst-case scenario for them. I don't trust the Bears for anything. I think they are an improved team. I think they'll hang in games longer. I don't think this is one of them. I'm not touching the total. I'm a little concerned about that, but I do think this could be like a 27-10 type game. Give me the dang Lions to win it outright. I don't mind the 5.5-point spread too. I think they can cover that one. All right, this one's gross. Ravens money line, #1 play on the model. Shocker. 10,000 simulations later. Strongest confidence that they win this game. Honestly, who cares? Everyone's going to be picking them this week. And for good reason. This is David versus Goliath. I ain't touching the money line unless it's involved in a parlay. I think the Ravens can go out there and score 35 points like that. Everybody knows this. So I think the total's in trouble there. I think the over is a good play. I think where things start to get a little convoluted, it's going to be the spread. And here's why. The model has Cleveland to cover at 11.5 on the road, although it's the second least confident spread pick of the week. Here is one spot that I wholeheartedly disagree with the betting model. I think the Ravens go out there and they just say, hey guys, we kind of messed up. We're sorry about that. Here's a 30-point victory. I've got a little parlay for you, and I actually think it's an interesting play. After Derrick Henry fumbled that ball in the midst of a great game against the Bills, another one, he absolutely dominates them. That late game fumble was part of the reason why the Bills won. I think he comes out and shows people, hey, I'm on my way to win the Offensive Player of the Year. I screwed up, so here's 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm not joking. I think that you could climb the player prop ladder on his rushing yards as high as it goes, 150 plus yards, 175 plus yards. You'll get some long odds. And then you put down 2+ touchdowns, 3+ touchdowns. I think we're looking at one of those just, hey, we totally messed up. We're back at home. We're angry about it. We're hungry. And you're going to see a 6'3", 250-pound monster running 95 miles per hour for 150 yards and 2 scores by halftime. I'm not joking. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. Yeah, Joe Flacco-led offense? I don't know, man. Listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I would rather be on this side of the wrong side, if that makes sense. Give me the Ravens by 1,000,000. Give me Derrick Henry for all the yards and tutties. Next up, we got the Broncos on the road against the Colts. Now, this is going to be an interesting game. Daniel Jones looked great. Very similar to Justin Fields. Who saw it coming? Oh, my goodness. Broncos, on the other hand, did not look good. Not good at all. They struggled mightily through their win against the Tennessee Titans, and now they have to travel into Indianapolis against an inspired Colts team. All right, here's the deal. So DraftKings keeps giving us these no-sweat bets. And because of that, I keep banging home huge wins. In fact, we had a plus 1,400 built by one of my Discord mods in week 1 using the betting model. He told me he's got a 3-leg parlay for this game. That's a plus 1,100. He already sent it to me in a text and said, I'm hanging it on this right here, my parlay of the week. So be on the lookout if you're already a member for that parlay inside the VIP Discord. If you're not a member, grab that link down below. I'm telling you right now, it's worth every single penny. There are 15+ premium channels. You get access to the betting models of mine and all my personal parlays and picks. Why does that matter? Well, in baseball, I'm up almost 40+ units in the last 7 weeks since July 18th. NFL, we finished profitable, plus 4 units. Betting models finished profitable, slightly over plus 3 units. All my picks using the betting models, plus 7 units in NFL week 1. 10+ sports are covered, 10+ cappers are in there. Grab that tails.bet link down below, DFS and Donuts picks. But for me, what I'm taking right here is the Broncos. I just think they're the better team than the Colts. And when it boils down to these, it's not necessarily a pick 'em, but man, it's pretty darn close. When we get these types of spots, I often just lean on the team with the better quarterback. That's Bo Nix. We already know what Daniel Jones is. We essentially saw him play the best version of himself in week 1. If there's any type of regression for both quarterbacks, Nix needs to play better. It's the Broncos, although I think this is going to be a close one. Next game, Panthers, Cardinals. Everybody thought the Panthers would cover this past week against the Jags. playing at home, and they got dusted. 16-point loss. Cardinals, on the other hand, everybody thought would just blow out the Saints. That was a tough game for them. They did win, but now we get the Panthers on the road against the Cardinals. Here's how I see it shaking out. Blowout, win, under. Yeah. I don't know if the Panthers are hanging with anybody this year. I also don't know if the Cardinals are efficient enough to blow out any teams. We know that over 80% of the teams that win cover the spread. So I'll take the Cardinals, the under, and the cover for the sake of our money line picks per week so that we can track those. Give me the Cardinals. All right, we've made it. Eagles against the Chiefs. Super Bowl rematch. This one's in Arrowhead. We saw the Eagles win. They looked good. Fun opening night, Thursday night football. And then we saw the Chiefs the night after in another fun game lose in Brazil against AFC West rival, up-and-coming Los Angeles Chargers. Got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Are they going to do better this year? I think they might. Are they going to surpass the Broncos in that division? Man, the AFC West is loaded. Sorry, Raiders. So how are we betting on this game? Oh, my goodness. Can the Chiefs really start off 0-2 on the season? Yup. Give me the Eagles, baby. Yes, I'm a Bills fan. Yes, I'd be excited to see it. And yes, throw the bias away. The model likes the Eagles this week. They're just the better team. Now, they don't have the better quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a wizard. He's a magician. He can pull the tricks out of his hat, pull off a W when it looks like it's lost. So never count them out. This is one of those games I won't feel comfortable betting on. I just won't. It's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes. But for the sake of the video, I have to. So give me the Eagles traveling into Arrowhead on Sunday, 4:25, the premier afternoon game. If this was, I'm actually shocked that this game was not a primetime game. That's kind of crazy. I would imagine it would be the highest watched game for the first month or two of the NFL season. It's literally the Super Bowl rematch. How is this not on Sunday night or Monday Night Football? I actually really like the total. It was 46.5. It's moved to 47.5. You could still get it at 46.5 on some books. Give me the total over. I think these teams score some points, and I'll take the Eagles to cover at -1.5. Now, player props wise, man, is this a juicy game. Jalen Hurts on his way to another season. It'll be his 5th straight double-digit touchdowns. Had 2 in the opener. Saquon Barkley, a pedestrian stat line. I think he can have himself another pedestrian stat line, believe it or not. Chiefs are really, really tough against opposing running backs. Saquon Barkley is a big, long run, a chunk carry or two away from 100-plus rushing yards every single game. Patrick Mahomes at home against this team, I think, throws for 2+ touchdowns. I think the Chiefs keep this close. I think it's very high scoring. I'm probably seeing, a 31-28 type game. At least I hope. Boy, would that be fun, especially for betting purposes. All right, this is going to be fun. We got 3 primetime games. Sunday night, 2 on Monday. Minnesota gets to host the Falcons after their huge come-from-behind win. Monday Night Football helped us secure a plus 1,400 for Discord. Oh, that was amazing. I hope we get it again. I think what we saw in the fourth quarter from the Minnesota Vikings is going to be closer to what the actual team will be like this year. I think they're going to be pretty good. They got a good defense. They've got great offensive pieces. It literally just boils down to J.J. McCarthy. And you know what we saw the first half, for the most part, first 3 quarters? We saw a kid in his first NFL game on the road on Monday Night Football playing his first football action since tearing his ACL 12 months ago. I mean, what a difficult thing to do. Off the injury on the road, Monday Night Football, first taste of NFL action. Like, good luck. And he did what I think a lot of people were concerned about. They struggled mightily. It was brutal. But then the rust kind of came off. You could see him get into a rhythm. Confidence was coming back in his body. Had a huge 12-yard scramble down to like the 3 or 4 yard line at one point. And when you get those guys who are solid quarterbacks, they've got a decent enough skill set to have the draft pedigree that he has, and then they start playing confidently, well, good things will happen. On the other side, the Falcons, in one of the craziest fourth quarters I've seen in a while, back and forth with Tampa, that was insane. The fact that they lost that game, I was actually shocked. They had so many opportunities. Michael Penix Jr. continues to keep the Falcons in games. Last season in his few starts, this season, of course, in that opener loss against Tampa. Tampa's a good team, but I'm a little concerned here. Just think Minnesota's better. I'm going like this. I like the over. I like Minnesota to win, and because most of these winners end up covering and they're at home, I think they could take this one by a touchdown or more. Just don't know if Penix can keep the offense going for 24, 28, 31 points if he needs to. All right, Monday night. We got 2 Monday night games. First one, this is going to be a long night for you East Coasters. That's me. I'm going to be a tired old man. Now, Baker Mayfield, despite a very inefficient game passing, 17 of 32, had 3 passing touchdowns. There's some player props I like in this game. Player props I liked in the last game, too. This isn't the video for it. Friday's video is when you'll see me talk very similar to like this, where I have 1 game pick for each game. Well, Friday's video is all about the best player prop bets. Oh, and by the way, Monday, Thursday, and Sunday, I am live right here on YouTube, 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday, Thursday, Sunday. Anytime there's an NFL game, I go live. On Monday's live stream, I built a plus 1,200 parlay for the Monday Night Football game that cashed. On Thursday night's live stream last week, I built a plus 525 that cashed. You do not want to miss those live shows. Subscribe to this channel, like the video, and turn your dang notifications on. Grab your cell phone and turn your alarms on, too. 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday, Thursday, Sunday. I'm here for you. Free picks, free content. Just got to like and subscribe, and don't miss them. Texans looked terrible against the Rams in a 14-9 loss. Buccaneers, 23-20 win against the Falcons. Texans do get their homecoming game here. That'll be nice for them. Tampa stays on the road for their second game of the season. And while I do think the Texans are a good team this year, I'm starting to get a little concerned about C.J. Stroud. Looked like the next great one his rookie year. And then last year he digressed. And nothing changed in the opener. They have no running game. Tampa on the other side, we know their offense can put 40 points on anybody at any given week. Baker Mayfield is just a magician in the fourth quarter. I don't know how he does it. Keeps winning close games. I like the Bucs to win. I like the over 42. I think they cover the plus 2.5. My favorite of the 3 would be on the money line, plus 127. A little bit safer. You can grab the 2.5 point spread. You still get plus odds. That's a great play in my opinion. It is Monday Night Football. The atmosphere is going to be tough. Just be mindful of your money. It's your money. Be comfortable. Last but not least, we've got the Chargers on the road. Monday Night Football, the 10 p.m. game against the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know why I did that voice. Quick reminder, Monday, Thursday, Sunday live shows, 9 a.m. on this channel. You don't want to miss. Let's make our final picks. We got another divisional game here, and I actually think this one could be tricky because what's going on with Brock Bowers? If Brock Bowers is out, and here's the deal. We simulate the game. We do what we can. I provide analysis, but please pay attention to the injury report. That changes a lot here. I think Brock Bowers is worth a couple points here in this game. So if he ends up being out, I think this is going to be a tough one. This is what I like for this game. It's the Chargers minus 175. It's the under 46.5 total, and it's the cover of minus 3.5. Yeah, they're laying 3 and the hook, and I'll take it. They are a much better team. I'm not concerned about Monday night on the road. They were in Brazil. They were on Friday Night Football. They've had a couple extra days to rest, traveling. Now, I do think Geno's going to help the Raiders look better this season, but the Chargers were a playoff team. And I think they took a step forward this year. Keenan Allen looked pretty darn good at age 33. I talked about him last week. He was my best bet for the Friday night game, over 37.5 receiving yards. If his player props open low again, I'm slamming all of them. Receptions, yards, potentially a touchdown. I called the touchdown in the video as well. There's a lot to like in this game. You might just have to wait for my Monday morning live show, though, because I will probably build out some bangers on that live show for both the Monday night games. All right, my friends, the rest of the week's going to be fun. If you like this game-by-game pick video, you're going to like Friday's game-by-game player prop video. And you get the touchdown pick video on Saturday. It went absolutely nuclear in week 1. I go live Monday, Thursday, and Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Anytime there's NFL games being played, I go live that morning at 9. Hit that sub button on your way out. Like the video. And again, tell me down below your favorite teams to win and the reasons why. I'm going to read through them. I love you all. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching. Let's get paid.